welcome anywhere around the world. This is Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. We're live in Abuja. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. The 2025 budget of 54.9 trillion naira is not just a financial document. It is a bold statement of intent to a roadmap for economic resilience, social stability, and national progress. This is the assurance from the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at the ongoing ministerial press briefing in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Honorable Minister of Information.
This is the third session in the year 2025. The government's image promoter sets the ball rolling and expressed confidence that this is a deliberate multimedia platform for open engagement on the policies and programs of the government.
In an era where misinformation and sensationalism can easily distort public perception, your commitment to truth and fairness is more important than ever.
In the year 2025, he insisted Nigerians will enjoy the fruit of the transformative reforms initiated by President Tinubu's administration.
Already, we are witnessing a gradual reduction in prices of foodstuff, which is bringing much needed relief to our people. The budget has demonstrated a renewed focus on security, infrastructure, education, health, soil minerals, agriculture, and other key areas that have a direct impact on the well-being and the socio-economic development of our country.
As an important pillar in the democratic development, the media has been reminded to uphold professionalism and avoid sensationalism.
We will continue to bring ministers here to engage with you, to let you know what government or this administration is doing.
As you heard it from the Honorable Minister, this role the ministry has been performing in order to enable the ministry say it as it is, as so far 28 out of the 47 ministers have appeared in this series of briefings. From the National Press Center in Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Now let's cross over to legislative matters as the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says the 10th Senate acknowledges and embraces Nigeria's diversity towards the attainment of shared prosperity for all citizens across the country. Addressing the United Kingdom branch of the Commonwealth Parliament Association in Abuja, Akpabio noted that the policies of government are reflective of the dreams and aspirations of all Nigerians, which is why the National Assembly works tirelessly to ensure that the nation's democracy is a force that transforms lives and is responsive to the needs of citizens. He emphasized the willingness of the legislature to collaborate and deepen engagement with other parliaments to enrich practices.
As a steadfast sentinel of democracy, holding high the torch of good governance, legislative excellence, and the unshakable belief that the nation's strength lies not in its wealth nor its armies, but in the integrity of its institutions and the freedom of its people.
Leading the Commonwealth delegation, Kate Ofonne Osamo drew attention to better inclusiveness for women in governance and called for the passage of the bills that seek special seats for women in Parliament.
If this bill is able to get over the line, we can start looking at other things of how we can work together.
Similarly, Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas is seeking the support of United Kingdom's Parliament in promoting gender balance in Nigeria's legislature. He stated this when he received some British parliamentarians, including Nigeria-born Kate Ofonne Osamo, on collaborative visits at the National Assembly. He told the UK legislators that the 10th House is diverse in political party representation and also gives priority to issues of women and youth representation.
particularly to the women committees, and ensuring that we don't leave one single woman representative without a key leadership position in the House, so that they can use their platform to actually advance the cause of women. And it will also interest you to know that we have passed so many legislation, and we have passed some bills and as well as constitutional amendments, in ensuring that this time around, we want to make sure that this is the decisive term where women inclusion will be taken seriously.
There is a lot of work that we need to do within our political parties. The structures are very, very powerful. Within those structures, we can open up space. And as a country, if we get more women in politics, the whole country will benefit.
The Speaker assured the delegation that the House, under his leadership, will play a decisive role in achieving gender parity in the legislature. Let's also tell you that a bill to amend the Federal Polytechnics Act 2004 to review and enlarge the administrative structure of the Council of Polytechnics has passed second reading in the House of Representatives. The bill is seeking inclusion of representatives of technical institutional bodies like the National Board for Technical Education as part of the membership of the Council, and also the abolition of the HND bachelor's degree dichotomy.
Of HND degree dichotomy, their own position, which is taken collectively as a board comprising the whole entire polytechnics in the country, is that we should move for the abolishment of HND, and in place of it to have Bachelor of Technology as a replacement, so that at least graduates of polytechnics will be able to compete hand in hand with other universities.
In other resolutions, the House advocates empowerment of victims of insurgency in Borno State who are relocating to their home communities.
That the insecurity situation improve in Borno State, coupled with the state government effort to close all IDP camps in Maiduguri and environment. Many of these displaced people from Marte local government area are now returning home. Urge the Minister of Labour and Employment to empower women and youth in Marte local government area of Borno State with vocational skill such as hairdressing, barbing, carpentering, and other trainings.
Away from legislative matters, considering the prevailing security challenges, Plateau State government has temporarily suspended all mining activities in the state to enable the state government implement reforms that will ensure responsible and sustainable mining practices. Governor Caleb Mfwan stated this at a stakeholders meeting in Jos. Indeyang Andiaba Gian reports.
Governor Caleb Mfwan says it has become expedient to activate the order to enable the state government collaborate with the federal government to ascertain the appropriate framework between the state, local government, host community, and mineral rights holders. The state government, he says, will take a holistic review of the security situation in the state to ensure appropriate community development agreement that will address the socio-economic contributions of the mineral rights holders to the host communities.
There is the need to ensure measures taken to protect places of mining activities in Plateau State, and to ensure only persons that are licensed to conduct mining can enter or leave such premises. The suspension of all mining activities has become necessary.
Commissioner for Environment, Mineral Resources and Climate Change, Peter Gwom, highlighted the challenges posed by illegal mining in the state. Bongwom Jos, Jacob Gyambuba, says the Executive Order 001 is the right step in the right direction, considering the series of security threats that are usually associated with mining.
Protection of our people, protect our cultures. The cultures and the traditions and the native laws and customs include the land.
In Jos, Indeyang and the Abuja, NT News.
Now, let's connect with Indeyang, who is at one of the mining sites in Plateau State, to give us insight into the actions taken by the state government. Now, in the Plateau State is renowned for rich mineral deposits that are contributing to the development of the state. Give us an insight and update on the state of mining out there.
Yes, Ayodeji, since 1902, the state has been the hub of mining activities with large-scale mining industries that led to the industrialization of the state. Jobs were created, the state was earning foreign exchange and infrastructure development. This is seen in the establishment of Plateau Hospital, now Plateau State Specialist Hospital, catering to the needs of miners and their families. Railways were also constructed, connecting the state not just to the mining sites, but to other parts of the country. Other development that you could see then are the establishment of schools, the Yelwa Club, and industrial plants like the Makeri Smelting Company. But the indigenization decree of 1972 and the closure of the Nigerian Mining Corporation saw the dwindling fortunes of mechanized mining activities, with artisanal miners taking over mining in the state. This resulted to a lot of challenges, from security issues, like you heard in the report, to social, where school-aged children are dropping out of school, and with the attendant consequences, it became a source of real concern to critical stakeholders, not just for the government, but for even those in the mining industry. And of course, not forgetting the environmental degradation.
Now, in the end, I've had one or two experiences in Plateau State, and I've spotted not one, but quite a handful of places where illegal mining activities are ongoing in the state. But tell us, what measures do we have in the state now by the state government to tackle this challenge?
Yes, when the governor came on board, he had a burning desire to reform the mining sector, because one of his earliest functions, he actually undertook a visit to the then Federal Ministry of Mines and Steel Development towards ensuring the reclamation of abandoned mining sites that are affecting the ecosystem of the state. Recently, he activated the Executive Order 001 of 2025, temporarily suspending all mining activities in the state. And he set up a technical committee comprising representatives of state ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as federal mining regulatory agencies, miners association, traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and security agencies. The committee is actually to verify community development agreement, mineral title holders, mining cooperatives. They are also to verify mining engagement, advocacy on the need for artisanal and small-scale miners to be formalized into mining cooperatives. This technical committee is also charged with the responsibility to generate data on mining sites, minerals being mined, where they are being bought and sold, and the processing centers. The committee will document all degraded lands as a result of illegal mining activities for future reclamation efforts. The governor is actually calling on all critical stakeholders to support the initiative to uphold beneficial mining practices in line with global standards. And I can tell you that already the technical committee is meeting with stakeholders to sensitize them and the public on the need to work in synergy for the socio-economic development of the state. Ayo, back to you, the studio.
Oh yes, in the end, there's optimism that the mineral resources that is hugely deposited out there in Plateau State will contribute to the economic development of the state and Nigeria at large. Thanks so much for your contribution.
Sure.
Right, let's go over now to our Lagos Network Center, and Jennifer will take it up from here.
Now, to achieve speedy development and maximize full potential of the West African sub-region, regional integration that guarantees free trade and security remains the catalyst for economic emancipation of the region. Speakers at the opening of the first 2025 Parliamentary Seminar on ECOWAS at 50 and the Parliament at 25 agreed on the need to pool resources together to hasten infrastructural development in the region. Joel Pukwala has more.
The ECOWAS journey, which started with the signing of a treaty in Lagos to create a regional body in 1975, has metamorphosed into a body that has become a voice for the West African sub-region among the Committee of Nations. Back to Lagos, where it all began, the Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Adja Memunatu Ibrahima, says the theme of the parliamentary seminar predicated on reflections of the community parliament towards attaining regional integration is apt, as it speaks to the most compelling issue West Africa is grappling with.
ECOWAS need to deepen collaboration towards ensuring free movement of citizens and goods. It is very important for us to unite.
For the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, whose state is the birthplace of ECOWAS, he notes that the regional body is reshaping the destiny of West Africa through economic cooperation, conflict resolution, and promotion of democracy. But ECOWAS, according to him, is yet to attain its full potential.
To build a brighter future for West Africa, we must, therefore, strengthen our institutions to ensure they are responsive, they are inclusive, and they are effective.
The first Deputy Speaker of the Parliament and other members say most of the unwanted narrative will be addressed at this extraordinary session.
There are barriers. These barriers are being dismantled gradually, and I want to tell you, within a period of time, going with what we are doing, what the ECOWAS is doing, it will be a thing of the past.
We have to liberalize, because the whole world is heading towards globalization and liberalization. So I think we should look into all this now.
Other salient reforms to be addressed is how to further strengthen the ECOWAS Parliament. In Lagos, Joel Pukwala, NTA News.
And to the judiciary, music executive Jude Okoye has been arraigned before the Lagos State Special Offences Court sitting in Ikeja for alleged fraud. The defendant pleaded not guilty to the count. Adiola Komiakiri has more.
In this matter, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, as the prosecution agency, accused Jude Chidozie Okoye of counts bordering on fraud and money laundering amounting to 1.38 billion naira, $1 million, and 334,537 pounds, 59 pence. The prosecution counsel, Mohammed Bashir, in the charge accused Jude Okoye of using his Northside Music Limited Company to convert the sum of $767,544.15 for his own use, all in an attempt to deprive Peter Okoye. And the offences were committed between 2016 and 2023, as well as purchasing a choice property worth 850 million naira at number 5, Tony Erimosele Street, Parkview Estate, Ikoyi, Lagos. After the arraignment, the defense counsel moved the motion for the bail of the defendant in the matter. Prosecution counsel opposed the bail application, asking the court for time to study the grounds and reply appropriately. The presiding judge, Justice Oshodi, said the bail application will be heard on Thursday, 6th of March 2025, while commencement of trial is slated for 16th and 23rd May 2025.
Mr. Jude Okoye is a global brand, and one of the three brothers that formed the famous P-Square that is known all over the world. So he has nowhere else to run to. We will show at the trial that the dispute has to do with dispute of directors.
The defendant has been remanded at the Ikoyi Correctional Center. In Lagos, Adeola Komiakiri, NTA News.
That's all from Lagos for now. We'll take a break. The news will continue shortly, but with Port Harcourt Network Center. Stay tuned.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن.
Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria, VON, cordially invite the general public to its 19th annual Ramadan lecture. Topic: Faith, Politics and Power, the involvement of ulama in politics and its implications. Guest lecturer, Sheikh Maruf Onike Abdulaziz, Chief Missioner, NASFAT Worldwide. Chairman of the occasion, Idi Mukhtar Meha, Minister of Livestock Development. Special Guest of Honor, Muhammad Idris, Minister of Information and National Orientation. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Mala Ahmed Nuhu Bamali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malam Ubasani, the Executive Governor, Kaduna State. Host, Malam Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, Director General, NTA. Dr. Muhammad Bulama, Director General, FRCN. Malam Jibril Babandachi, Director General, Voice of Nigeria. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, off Sultan Road, Kaduna. Date, 8 March 2025. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. For partnership or advert placement. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. The second Nimi Briggs Legacy Lecture Series has been held at the University of Port Harcourt to celebrate the academic excellence of Professor Emeritus Nimi Briggs, whose legacies has continued to impact future generations. Ijeoma Ogweke reports that the title of the lecture is The Longevity of Man.
The legacies of late Nimi Briggs came alive again as members of the academia, family members, friends, and associates gathered at the University of Port Harcourt
to celebrate an erudite scholar whose legacies have continued to shape the field of medicine. The guest lecturer, Dr. Ibrahim Wada, in the lecture titled The Longevity of Man, said the ability to live long depends on factors such as lifestyle, environmental issues, natural causes, and modern healthcare.
And you need advanced healthcare, you can have it, but even more importantly, medical checkups so that any attacks coming, you can get them very early and treat them before they cause too much damage. Then all sorts of lifestyle changes, whether it's the food you eat, the exercise, because life is different now than it was 1,000 years ago.
Vice Chancellor, University of Port Harcourt, George Will Owunari, acknowledged that 2 years down the line, since the demise of the erudite scholar Dimi Briggs, his legacy still stands tall.
Being the Vice Chancellor, he has been a researcher, a mentor, everything to every person. And so today, his memories were made to last for longer and longer and longer time.
The celebration of excellence brought together family members and associates who eulogized the outstanding contributions of Nimi Briggs, a professorial chair of obstetrics and gynecology.
To have passed away and then years later, you're still being held in such honor, in such esteem, and events are being organized to remember your contribution to the university community and humanity at large. I think it's worthy, it's an encouraging sign, and it's something worthy of emulation.
Nimi Briggs' professorial chair of obstetrics and gynecology was endowed in 2015 in recognition of his academic excellence, mentorship, and meritorious service to the academia, medical profession, and humanity. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
The alarming surge in crime rates has been largely attributed to the unchecked proliferation of illicit firearms, particularly among underage individuals who are increasingly gaining access to these deadly weapons. To combat this growing menace, experts stress the need for periodic legislative reviews and community-based initiatives to educate the young people. Again, Ijomo Gweke reports.
According to the Firearms Act of 1959, individuals under the age of 17 are prohibited from obtaining a license to possess or carry firearms. Despite this law, Nigeria still grapples with the issue of underage persons accessing and using firearms. This, experts warn, contributes significantly to the problem of insecurity in Nigeria. Many of these firearms find their way into the hands of underage individuals, often through unauthorized means.
Now, when you now put that among the underage, people who have not come to a certain level of maturity to be able to make certain decisions, you're walking a very, very dangerous line. In Nigeria, there is no right to bear arms across board.
Instruments, such kind of material, will definitely abuse it. And when he abuses it, the society suffers for it. Obviously, it can lead to proliferation of criminal activities.
To address this menace, stakeholders advocate that it's essential to strengthen enforcement mechanisms, including improved firearm storage, periodic legislative reviews, and community engagement.
Yahoo boys doing is because it started as a play, and they call it a play. So they see the gun as a weapon of play, not something that will harm anybody. Even when people are dying, the government should be serious about regulating the use of firearms.
Ultimately, addressing the issue of underage firearm possession in Nigeria, experts argue require a multifaceted approach that involves government, civil society, and community stakeholders. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
The reports from Port Harcourt, Ayodeji is back to you in Abuja.
Thanks, Jenny. Still in Rivers State, more people in Ogoni have continued to endorse the planned recommencement of crude oil and gas production in their communities. Emmanuel Lene reports that the people are willing to support the government of President Bola Tinubu to enthrone lasting peace and sustainable development in Ogoni land.
At the height of the non-violent Ogoni struggle in the 1990s, the people withdrew a social license to operate from Shell Petroleum Development Company and declared the oil giant a persona non grata in Ogoni. The struggle, which centered on environmental justice and economic inclusion, was championed by late Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 others. Upon Nigeria's transition to democratic governance in 1999, successive governments had made unsuccessful attempts to broker peace and recommence oil production in Ogoni land. However, the vast majority of the people are beginning to have a rethink as they endorse recommencement of oil and gas production under the administration of President Bola Tinubu.
We are 100% ready for oil resumption because we have called for it and we want it to grow our economy and also see how to develop Ogoni.
For roughly 32 years, the Ogoni oil fields, one of the most lucrative in the Niger Delta, have been lying fallow as a result of conflict.
The people will actually welcome any other company that wants to, go about oil, activity in Ogoni.
Ogonis have never, not even when Ken Saro-Wiwa was alive, said they don't want oil extraction from their land. What they've said is, we want oil extraction, but it must be done on the basis of mutuality.
In the spirit of true reconciliation, the Ogonis want the government of President Tinubu to exonerate Saro-Wiwa and 8 others. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
Now, still sticking with that particular report about Ogoni land, Robinson Diratade is in Port Harcourt to give us the latest on the resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. Robinson.
The news about the resumption of oil in Ogoni land has caused excitement not just in Ogoni but in the entire River State. Everybody is happy that after a very long time there is a strong move that oil exploration will kickstart again in the Ogoni axis of River State. The sincerity of the government perhaps is the reason why the people are having confidence that this time around it will work out. And it appears for the first time the oil activity or oil resumption in Ogoni is creating unity across the whole Ogoni people. After the major stakeholders meeting with the president in Abuja, the River State governor also created a dialogue committee that are moving from local government to local government to hear the minds of the people. We have already held a meeting in 2 local government areas and about to complete it with the remaining 2 local governments. And the demands of the people are not actually different from what Ken Saro-Wiwa presented in the 90s on the Ogoni Bill of Rights. And this includes the political autonomy for the Ogoni people, economic inclusion, infrastructure and human capital development and environmental justice. With the establishment of IPREP, people are beginning to see physical development in Ogoni, like the Center of Excellence, the Ogoni Hospital and other infrastructure projects. So they are happy that truly government is committed in developing Ogoni. And with the establishment or the approval of the Ogoni University of Environment and Technology, the people believe that it will create a lot of employment for the people. The state government has already given them a temporary site where that university will kickstart. So the people are excited and they are ready for the oil activity to commence. But the little apprehension they have is on the IOCs. Perhaps they don't want a repetition of what had happened in the past to repeat itself again. So they are a bit apprehensive. They want to know what the IOCs have in stock for them. But generally, they are happy. They want the oil activities to resume.
Well, Robinson, it's interesting to know that deliberate actions are yielding positive results that will lead to transformation. Thanks for your contribution. Back in Abuja, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Shamsuddin Babatunde Ogunjimi as the new Accountant General of the Federation. A statement by the Special Assistant to the President on Information and Strategy indicates that the appointment takes effect from 7th March 2025, the same day the incumbent Oluwatoyin Madeyin would retire. Ogunjimi, 57 years, was first named as Madeyin's successor last December after the selection committee chose him through a competitive, rigorous and merit-based process that underscores President Tinubu's commitment to promoting transparency, excellence and competence in key public service positions. Ogunjimi graduated from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka in 1990 with a Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. He also obtained a master's degree in accounting and finance from the University of Lagos, and he is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. President Tinubu urges him to discharge his duties in the service of Nigeria with integrity, professionalism and dedication to Nigeria's service. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu congratulates Professor Babafemi Badijo, a seasoned diplomat, scholar, and former Deputy Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General at the UN Political Office for Somalia on his 70th birthday. The Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, in a press statement says the President recalls that the accomplished scholar, also a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, is known for his dedication to political reforms and courage in conflict-affected regions during his assignments at the United Nations. The President applauds the diplomat's contributions to the peace process in Somalia, Liberia, Guinea-Bissau and Sudan, and his pivotal role in the Djibouti initiative, which laid the foundation for national governance structures in Somalia after a decade of strife. The President extends his best wishes for Professor Badijo's continued good health and strength as he enriches scholarship and inspires diligence, discipline, and the pursuit of knowledge. Now, ensuring that women have a stronger voice in shaping policies, making decisions, and driving national development does not only balance the scale of justice, but it's also a necessity for sustainable growth. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu stated this in a message to the opening of an Art for Governance exhibition in Abuja. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
In pictures and other visual forms, this gallery offers graphic and chronological highlights of Nigeria's political development, pre- and post-colonial eras, marking the nation's democratic progress. This piece by Segun Wolabi is one of the major offerings on display. In this simple but unique artwork, heroines such as Funmilayo Ransome Kuti and Margaret Ekpo, whose lives shaped gender activism in Nigeria, come alive again. And in silent repose, they appear to further inspire contemporary agitation against poor women representation in Nigeria's parliament, which currently stands at less than 5%. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, who has carried the banner of women affirmative action in different capacities, is happy that art offers another strong platform to push for improved women inclusion in governance. Her message was delivered by wife of the Speaker, House of Representatives, Fatima Tajuddin Abbas.
Art has always been a powerful tool for storytelling, challenging perspectives and inspiring change. In the context of governance and inclusion, it offers a unique and compelling way to spotlight the urgent need for greater female representation in leadership and decision-making processes.
She pledged her support for the Affirmative Action Bill while urging the National Assembly to expedite the passage of the bill.
I firmly believe in the importance of women's voices in governance. I urge my former colleagues, the civil society organizations, and the public to embrace the message of this exhibition and collaborate to ensure that women's voices are heard.
Beyond drawing support for the Affirmative Action Bill, the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, and other organizers of the exhibition believe that it will help to shape governance.
This Act for Governance exhibition is more than an event. It is a movement. It is a declaration that representation is not a privilege, but a right.
Art is one of the special ways that women express themselves. We'll continue to use every medium to be able to achieve this equality.
So let us commit to writing a new chapter where women contributions to nation building are not just footnotes, but headlines.
This is a networking opportunity for different people here to understand the bill.
Along with Segun Owolabi's piece, 2 other artworks stood out for recognition at the exhibition in Abuja. Adeni Itewo, NTA News.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations has commended the federal government for approving the establishment of the Tony Iradia University of Communication in Benin City. The university aims to promote a functional education system in the country. In a statement signed by the Director of Public Relations, Stanley Ogadibo, the President and Chairman of the Council, Dr. Ike Neliaku, extended the commendation in a congratulatory letter to Professor Tony Iradia. Dr. Neliaku emphasized that such sector-specific educational institutions create a platform for producing fit-for-purpose graduates, addressing the current gaps in the society. Dr. Ike Neliaku noted that the TIUC project aligns with the NIPR's planned University of Public Relations and Leadership, the first of its kind in the world. The UPRL, championed by NIPR, is expected to commence operations before the end of 2026. Let's cross over now to the Pace set of states, where our Ibadan Network Center will take over and Kemi will be our guide.
And to welcome. The Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakunleyin, is alive. Chief Press Secretary to the Olubadan, Gbenga Ayuade, stated this at the palace of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Owolabi Olakunleyin. Kehinde Omolosho reports.
I was at the palace of the Olubadan to verify the report and met some people who had come to pay a courtesy visit to the Olubadan.
We made our intention to come to visit. No one has told us not to come. And we're here, and we are well received. You can see the chiefs, the delegates of Olubadan. We discussed very much well, and they spoke with you. So we are fine, and we have fulfilled our mission.
The Chief Press Secretary to the monarch, while refuting the claims, assured the public that the Olubadan is alive and in good health.
On behalf of Olubadan Oba in Council, I want to thank the people of Ibadan for their concern and to tell them that Olubadan is alive, hale and hearty.
The government needs to, have laws to regulate the social media, because it was really embarrassing. Throughout the night, people were just calling all over, from within and outside. But I can assure you that Baba is alive.
The advice is for news agencies to authenticate reports before publishing it to avoid libelous cases against them. The social media on Monday night was awash with reports that the monarch, Oba Owolabi Olakunleyin, had died at the age of 89. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
Determined to safeguard the future of its youth, the Osun State government has rolled out a comprehensive anti-drug campaign, reinforcing its commitment to eradicate substance abuse in schools. Correspondent Kayode Oladoshu has the details.
The campaign, codenamed Iwada, Imole War Against Drug Abuse, kicked off in Osun East Senatorial District, where students gathered at Ilesha Grammar School to learn about the dangers of drug abuse. Osun State Commissioner for Federal Affairs, Adenike Adeleke emphasized the state's commitment in tackling substance abuse among students and the larger society.
The governor has deemed it fit that we should tackle it from the secondary school first to make them aware, because most of the students are using these drugs because of ignorance. So this is to sensitize them, to make them know that nothing good comes out of drug abuse.
Stakeholders at the event applauded the initiative, stressing the importance of early intervention and sustained advocacy.
The few of you selected here, you are our ambassador. That you take the message back to the school. This momentous occasion signifies a pivotal juncture in our collective resolve to safeguard the future of our youth from the detrimental consequences of drug and substance abuse.
The campaign will cover all the 3 senatorial districts with continuous effort to educate and empower students. From Ilesha, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. More reports on Nationwide after the break with Ayodeji in Abuja.
Illuminate the environment or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty or tattered flag. Take such flag to the nearest National Orientation Agency office for proper disposal and replacement. The national flag can only be flown at half-mast on the directive of the federal government. The national flag must be flown at the same or higher height when displayed alongside other flags. Don't burn or allow the national flag to fall on the ground. Do not print, decorate, modify, or insert the coat of arms on the flag. Our national heroes are not buried with the flag. They are honored by presenting it to their next of kin during interment. Respect our national flag. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
The glorious month of Ramadan is here once again, and your darling program, Sahur Life on NTA, is back bigger and better. Our team of erudite scholars is poised to provide insightful analysis into the religion. All our interesting segments have been redesigned to meet your spiritual needs in this blessed month. Come and maximize your reward in Ramadan by partnering with us on this year's edition of Sahur Live on NTA. For donations, sponsorship and inquiries, contact the General Manager, NTA Channel 5, Old Parade Ground, Area 10 Kauki, Abuja. You can also reach us on these telephone numbers: 080-3314-7812, 080-3568-8394, or 080-3380-6162. Sahur Live on NTA, your indispensable companion in Ramadan.
Nigeria is perched on the treasure trove of solid minerals. Gold, coal, tantalum, tin. But none is more critical to our future, or the world's future, like lithium.
Let's talk about illegal mining operations. What is our strategy?
Thanks for staying tuned. The Kaduna state government will continue to adopt the non-kinetic approach of ending insecurity in the state. The state's governor, Uba Sani, stated this during the ceremony of reuniting about 59 kidnapped victims recently released through the joint efforts of the Kaduna state government, the Office of the National Security Advisor and security agencies to their families. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
The touching moment as the governor bid farewell to 59 kidnapped victims who recently regained freedom. The victims who had endured harrowing experiences were welcomed back into the society after undergoing medical evaluations under the care of the Kaduna State government.
We also had a lot of children, some are 1 year old, less than 2 years. In the last 6 months, thereabout, more than 300 of our captives have been released. And for me, it's one of the major achievements of our government.
Beyond their rescue and rehabilitation, the Kaduna State government is also providing financial support and tools to help the victims restart their lives again. In Kaduna, Hamad Umarajinki, NTA News.
And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. This is the Nigerian Television Authority. Bye-bye.
Of time in the